Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Tobe. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a regular, it is lovely to see you again. If you've not subscribed, go right ahead and click the subscribe button, and hopefully by the end of this video, you would have enjoyed it enough to want to leave a comment and share. During the week, I put up a sort of poll for you to decide what I would be shooting for today's video. A, B, and D got the exact same number of votes, and option C got twice as many votes. I did not see that coming. But I think that is something that I'm going to continue to do. Quite often, I'll go ahead and put up options for things that I could potentially shoot, and you decide what we put on the channel. That way I know that what you're getting on the channel is something that you actually do care about. So follow me on social media at I am Tobe Nneji on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll put up the polls quite regularly on there, and you get to vote. So it is very surprising that you want to know about my my network marketing story. I want to tell this story. I've wanted to tell this story since last year, but of course I had to do some more research and put my thoughts together and figure out how I would tell this story in a way that would be useful to anyone who was listening. So I've broken it out into 3 different parts. It might go on to 4 parts depending on how things go. This first part today is going to talk about the upsides to the business and the upsides to my experience. And then in the next one, I'll talk about the downsides to the experience and give a whole lot more detail and context to how I lost money pretty much. And then in the third part, I will share ways in which you can know that you're being baited to join a network marketing business. I say baited because I really believe that is what happened in that space. So today's video, we are going to talk about the upsides of joining a network marketing business. For some context and to level set, it is important that I say a number of things. First, I do not think that direct selling in and of itself is a bad thing. As a matter of fact, I feel like most of us are involved in direct selling. Every time that we recommend something that we have used or we have experienced to someone else and that person goes ahead to use it, we are doing direct selling, right? So I don't think that it is bad in and of itself, but I do think that the systems that are set up around direct selling, the multi-level marketing frameworks, I think that they are set up with an intentional lack of utmost transparency. I think that there are lots of gray areas in the sort of information that you receive to help you make a full-fledged informed decision. And I think that those gray areas are intentionally put there so that you make decisions that are not fully well calculated, and at the time that you gain more information, you're already a little too far deep to back out, and so it kind of keeps you stuck. Maybe stuck is not the word, because there are those people who are fully informed and they choose to stay in. So I don't think that that's a bad thing, but I think that a lot of people who are in network marketing do not necessarily have all of the information that they need to make a full and informed decision, and that's why they're in that line of business. The second thing is, when I went into network marketing last year, it was not an intentional experiment. It wasn't a thing where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do network marketing so I can find out if this thing is a thing. No, I was associating with a person, and by virtue of that association, I got exposed to network marketing. It wasn't my first time being exposed to network marketing, but it was my first time being exposed in such close proximity and with such consistent reinforcement. Even though I wasn't fully comfortable with the business of it, I was in a space where I wanted to preserve the association that I had with this person, and so by virtue of that, I felt compelled to try out this network marketing thing just to see how it goes, because this person believed fully in it and pretty much convinced me to try it out. And so starting out, it wasn't an intentional experiment. If anything, it was a thing that I was hoping would work and I was hoping would make sense. And so I was trying very hard to make sense of it all. But then as time went on, it really wasn't making as much sense as I require for things to make sense for me to stay and stick with them long term. The third thing is, it is possible to become rich in the network marketing space. It is possible to make some money. Of course, it is money that you make over time. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that you're going to become rich overnight. It is money that you make over time. It's possible that you get there, but then within the network marketing framework, there is that reinforcement of the successful people as the standard. So what I found was that the people in it did not consider themselves successful until they achieved success. And success within the network marketing game is very rare. There is statistics to prove this. Only about 1% of people who get involved in network marketing actually become successful in the game. There are a lot of people who are mid-range, but the effort and the expenditure that goes into creating that mid-range income, you want it to be this kind of situation where the income is way more than the effort, right? So you never really get that when you quantify the effort and the amount of financial resources that you put into building your business. The final thing that I want to say is network marketing is promoted mostly as a way to gain passive income. I don't agree. Passive income is a real thing. I think that it is possible to help yourself accumulate assets that give you income that you don't necessarily have to work for actively. But I do not know that network marketing is the passive income channel that you're looking for. These are the things I just wanted to put out there in terms of level setting. Oh, a final thing that I should say, and this really just came, this came to me this morning while I was having a shower. Last year, I spent $3,000, about $3,000 on two things. First was, in network marketing, and the other one was in getting a certificate to advance my career, right? So I had two $3,000 investments in my life last year. The network marketing one, well, I think that what I've gained from that is knowledge. When you fail, you learn. So that's good. And the other one, an investment in my career, a certificate, has yielded me really immense and beautiful dividends. I mean, I pretty much doubled my income as a result of that certificate. So if anything, I think I just want to put out there that you should spend money and spend money wisely on the things that actually give you true and honest value. Whatever that value is for you, spend money on things that give you that value. I think that's a big lesson that I learned from last year. So without much ado, I am going to tell you 5 things that I think are upsides of joining a network marketing business. Oh, before I go on, I should probably tell you, the network marketing company that I joined was Amway. Well, I wouldn't say Amway is a network marketing company. Amway is the company that's got the products, right? And then the network marketing system that I was a part of is LTD. It's called Leadership Team Development. And so that was the structure that I was a part of. And I was in it for about 3 months. After I got out of it, I liked some of the Amway products, so I renewed my IBO license thing so that I could have access to the products at a cheap price. That is the background on that. I'll tell you more about all of that in the next video. In this video, as you voted, I'll tell you 5 arguments for joining a network marketing business. Number 1, it gives you the opportunity to be a mentor. Something that happens within the network marketing business, and there's so many of them out there, it's crazy. Anyway, so something that happens within the network marketing business is once you sign a person up, it is reinforced to you and to that person that you are their mentor. So you get to mentally elevate yourself to this point of being a mentor to someone, whether or not this person is younger than you, more accomplished than you, whatever it is. As long as this person is a person that you signed up in the business, you are their mentor, and it gives you that push. I find that most human beings, we kind of get a kick out of helping people, I find. So if you have not been in a space or in a community where you have felt like a person who can help someone else, joining a network marketing business might be able to give you that, as long as you're able to sign at least one person up so you can be a mentor to that one person. The second argument for network marketing businesses is the community. You know how they say you are the average of the 5 people that you spend time with? Well, network marketing gives you into that sense of community around people who, as far as you know, are working towards a unified purpose. You're all trying to make your units and your points for the month, make it to that event, the summer conference, the hype conference, the leadership conference, the summit. You're all being poured into by the same set of inspiring people. You're all having this same big diamond ambition. You all kind of like have that same quote unquote worldview with regards to this particular thing that you're pursuing. So you know that when you're talking about challenges in life that are affecting this particular thing, or ways in which you're trying to grow in this particular space, these people get you. They understand. Even if they don't understand, by virtue of the structure of the community, they are either able to act like they understand, or they are able to point you in the direction of someone who might understand. Another beauty of the community is there are people of different pedigrees within the community. So you will most likely find someone who reminds you of yourself, or someone who sort of reflects the sort of things that you see in yourself. And the person might be further ahead than you, or the person might be coming up behind you, and that way you're able to say, hey, you're further ahead than me, you seem to have the same kind of challenges and proclivities as I have, how did you do it? Or you've got someone who's coming behind you and you can say, hey, you're coming up behind me, you seem to have the same proclivities as I do, here are the things that could help you figure things out. The third thing is that it helps you feel like you are working towards a defined purpose. A lot of people are searching for purpose. We're all wanting to do that thing that gives us a higher calling and gives us a reason for our lives. So working within the network marketing system makes you feel like you're working towards a purpose. For the one that I was in, the Amway one, everyone was working towards being diamond. You would have people talk about how they're making their vision boards and they took pictures of the last summit event, this person that just went diamond, they have that person's picture and a picture of a huge diamond on their vision board, and it's right in front of their bed. So it gives you that thing where you are working towards this specific purpose, and every day you wake up and you feel like, yes, I'm gonna work towards this today. I've got drive, I've got reason, and that is good. It definitely saves you from despondency, right? If you handle it correctly. When we have hope, when we have purpose, when we have a vision, something that we're working towards, we tend to have a reason to get through every single day. And if you're a person who is looking for that, being in a network marketing business might give you that. The fourth perk is that it helps you build confidence and a thick skin. Because you're in network marketing, right? What you're doing is talking to people and trying to convince people to join your business, even though you're trying to do it to them in a way that makes it seem like you're doing them a favor. Listen, I'll tell you guys about that in the next video. I'll tell you so much about it. I've even got the cards where they teach you how to use a different set of words so that you could do some mental posturing. It is ridiculous. Anyway, because you are in the business of trying to convince people to do things that they may not really want to do, you're a salesman, right? You're trying to get people to join your business, buy your products, convince them that this is the way that they should go so that their life can be meaningful. You learn to be confident in expressing yourself and speaking your ideas and trying to convince people in communication, whether it is written communication or verbal communication. You learn to have that level of confidence. And you also learn to have a thick skin because a lot of people will tell you no. And so you kind of develop that thick skin that makes it easy for you to brush off a no and keep it moving. And I honestly think that beyond the network marketing space, that skill, that learning that you get in confidence and a thick skin is something that you can take to other parts of your life that can potentially help other parts of your life develop in a beautiful way that would be of value to you. So if what you want is to learn confidence and develop a thick skin, and you don't feel like you have other mechanisms around you in your life to help you do that, maybe network marketing might be for you. The final perk is that it makes you sound smart-ish. I say smart-ish because, okay, so here's the thing, right? Every week there are these things called info sessions. I'm speaking specific to LTD and the Amway Business. That's the one that I was a part of. I don't know how the other MLMs do it, but I have found that every MLM typically has a weekly check-in type of meeting. They call it different names. They have their weekly calls. They have their mentor check-ins. They do that every week. For some MLMs, they actually do a daily type of thing where every day you send information to your mentor to let your mentor know what you've done, how many people you contacted and all of that. So anyway, all that is just for the next video. Within the structure in the Amway LTD business, within the structure that we had the weekly info sessions that you would attend. What happens in an info session is if you've signed someone up or you've convinced someone to come for that meeting, they get to come for that meeting and they get the first exposure to the plan. That's supposed to help them become rich, right? You also get to spend time with other people who are in business because they want to keep your momentum up. They want to keep your motivation up. They want you to keep seeing people who are successful so that way you have this big dream and you have this drive to go for it, right? And every week when they're showing the plan, it is the same thing. It is the same standard thing. They're going to start by asking you arbitrary questions.
Wouldn't you like to have $1,000 coming in passive income? What would $1,000 do for you if you had that coming in every month without you having to touch your regular pay? What do you do with your time?
Hey everyone, aren't you frustrated with your job?
So they give all of those things that are pretty standard. And then they go into telling you about Robert Kiyosaki and his cash flow quadrants, right? And then they talk to you about franchising. They talk to you about McDonald's and talk to you about how if you want to start up a McDonald's franchise, you're going to go to the Burger University. And if you're a person like me, I did not know about the Burger University. So if you're a person like me who's never heard about the Burger University and you hear someone talking about the Burger University, you immediately think that they're smart, right? Because they know these things. So they talk about these things every single week within the info session. And what that does to you as an IBO, as a person who is a part of the system, is you are hearing it every single week. And so naturally, these things become a part of your verbiage, a part of your everyday lingo, and you start to use those terms, those examples, those numbers in your everyday speech. And so a person who is listening to you would consider you to be smart-ish. But the thing is, since it is information that you're getting as a result of repetition, you're not necessarily researching it yourself. You don't really know. You are just echoing what someone else or a bunch of people have been saying to you over and over again. And they actually encourage you to repeat these things because they want you to be able to get on stage someday at a point where they consider you to be successful enough or to have reached a certain level. They want you to be able to get on stage someday and say those same things to motivate other new people, right? So it's a system that is pretty much bordered on repetition, and really repetition does reinforce knowledge. Sometimes it is knowledge that is real and true that you know, or other times it is knowledge that you just have at the back of your mind as a result of repetition. So if you feel the need to know little random details about little random things, well, not a lot of random things to be honest, but then pretty specific things, you're going to know little random details about pretty specific things, go right ahead and join a network marketing company, because what that does for you is, even in conversation with people that are not within the network marketing space, you can sound smart. I remember with the person that I encountered who exposed me to network marketing, one of the conversations that made me go like, oh, you're smart, was when I was told about some function with Facebook, something that I could do with Facebook, where you could sort of see a lot of information, all the data that Facebook has of you. I didn't know that prior to that. And when I was told this, in my head, I'm like, ooh, you're smart. Ooh, look at you. But it really turned out to be a thing that they do within the system, because that is a good way for them to help you find all of your Facebook contacts and everyone that you might potentially know on Facebook who you can then reach out to get them to come into the business. So you get those random bits and pieces of information and knowledge that can make you come across as smart-ish outside of your network marketing space. And if that's a thing that you're looking for, then perhaps joining a network marketing business is for you. Again, disclaimer, I do not think that direct selling in and of itself is bad, but I think that network marketing is set up in a way that does not give you enough information to make a properly informed decision before going in. You only get the information when you're already in. And that is kind of like my dissatisfaction with the entire system. Plus the fact that very few people actually make it to being successful. I think that I would rather hedge my bets along the lines of something else that gives me more chances and odds for success. All right, so those are 5 arguments for network marketing. You can share this with your friends who are part of a network marketing gig and, just have them talk about it and tell you all the good things that they gain from it. Oh, something else, this is probably just an add-on. Anyway, I know that I'm more than 5, but I'll add it. Something else that was a bit of a perk from the network marketing community that I was a part of was that we had these monthly readings. Like you had to read a book. I think there are like 12 books, as a matter of fact, that they tell you have to read in your first year. One of those books was written by someone who owns the system. So every time we buy the book, you're pretty much helping him make money. It is. So wait, I'll talk about that next week. But anyway, so there were these books that you had to read. And a lot of the books had good information. They're not books that I regret reading. So I didn't get to read all of them, but then they're not books that I regret reading because, a good book is a good book, right? So if you have difficulty joining a book club or you are not able to read on your own without having people to talk about the books with, then maybe network marketing might work for you. But I would honestly just encourage you to get an Audible account, get a Script account, get a Kindle account, read on your own. And if you need someone to bounce reading thoughts off of, send me a DM. I will be happy to do that for you. All right, so 5 arguments plus 1 for joining a network marketing business. Next week, I will tell you the downsides of the network marketing business and why I just think that before you join a network marketing business, you need to really open your eyes, ask questions, and be clear about what you're going into. I don't think that it is a terrible thing to do with your time and your money, but I do think that it is good for you to go in with your eyes wide open, knowing exactly what you are getting into. And if you do not feel like you are being given all the information and clarity that you need, that you ought to have before you spend money on things, I hope that you have the presence of mind to take a step back, do more research before you join, or just absolutely say no and move on to other options for enriching yourself and developing your personal value. All right, well, that is it from me today. So for the next 2 videos, I'm not going to put up any polls because I would like us to finish up the conversation on network marketing and then we'll move on to other things. But still, if you have questions for me or things that you would like me to talk about eventually, please send them to me via DM or leave a comment right here on this video. I would really love to see your comments. Hey, if you have had an experience with network marketing, I would like to know. If you think that these things I consider to be upsides of it are actually upsides, I would like to know as well. Please leave a comment, share the video as well. You can find me on social media at I am Tobe Neji. I will see you again next week. Thank you so much for being here. Be safe, be good, and as always, do not forget who you are.